a comedian, once known for making people laugh on television, suddenly. When Russian forces launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine on February 24, 2022, global experts predicted that Kyiv would fall within days. Governments prepared evacuation plans, diplomats expected collapse, and millions feared the worst. But one decision, one message, and one leader changed the course of history. This is the story of how Ukraine's leadership emerged from political uncertainty and transformed into a symbol of national resistance and global inspiration. This is the journey from shadow to state, the fragile beginning of modern Ukraine. Ukraine's journey towards strong leadership did not begin in 2022. It began decades earlier. After the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, Ukraine gained independence, but faced enormous political, economic, and social challenges. The country struggled to establish democratic institutions while dealing with corruption, economic instability, and internal political divisions. Ukraine also faced constant pressure from its powerful neighbor, Russia. For years, Ukraine tried to balance relationships between Russia and Western Europe. Many Ukrainian citizens wanted closer ties with Europe, while others maintained historical, cultural, and economic connections with Russia. This political tension created instability within the government and divided public opinion. Despite these struggles, Ukraine continued developing its democratic system. Several revolutions, including the Orange Revolution in 2004 and the Revolution of Dignity in 2014, demonstrated the Ukrainian people's desire for political reform and independence. From foreign influence, these movements strengthened Ukraine's democratic identity but also increased tensions with Russia. The rise of an unexpected leader in 2019. Ukraine elected a new president, Volodymyr Zelensky. Unlike traditional politicians, Zelensky came from the entertainment industry. He was widely known as an actor and comedian who played the role of a fictional president in a popular television show called Servant of the People. In the show, his character unexpectedly becomes president and fights corruption within the government. Many voters connected with Zelensky's outsider image. Ukrainians were frustrated with political corruption and wanted fresh leadership. Zelensky promised to fight corruption, reform the government, and bring peace to eastern Ukraine, where conflict with Russian-backed separatists had already been ongoing since 2014, however. Many international analysts doubted his abilities. Critics questioned whether an entertainer could handle serious political challenges. Few imagined that Zelensky would soon become one of the most recognized wartime leaders in modern history. The day has changed everything. In February 24, 2022, Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Russian forces attacked multiple cities, including Kyiv, Kharkiv, and Mariupol. Explosions echoed across the country as millions of civilians woke up to the reality of war. Military experts predicted that Ukraine would collapse quickly. Russia possessed a larger military, stronger air power, and advanced weapon systems. Intelligence agencies expected Kyiv to fall within days. Many foreign governments offered to evacuate Ukraine's leadership to safety, but Zelensky refused to leave. In one of the most powerful statements of the war, he reportedly declared that he needed ammunition, not transportation. This decision became a defining moment. By remaining in Kyiv, Zelensky sent a message of courage and resistance to Ukrainian citizens and the global community leadership. Through communication, one of Zelensky's greatest strengths was communication. Instead of hiding in secure locations, he appeared publicly through daily video messages. Often dressed in military-style clothing, he recorded speeches in the streets of Kyiv, showing the world that Ukraine's leadership remained present and determined. His speeches were emotional, direct, and relatable. He spoke not only to Ukrainian citizens, but also to global audiences. Zelensky addressed parliaments and international organizations, including the United Nations and European governments. He tailored his speeches to match the history and culture of each country he addressed. Through modern communication platforms and social media, Zelensky bypassed traditional diplomatic channels. His messages reached millions of viewers worldwide, helping Ukraine gain international support and sympathy. The strength behind President while Zelensky became the face of Ukraine's resistance, He was supported by a strong network of military commanders, government officials, intelligence agencies, and civilian volunteers. Since 2014, Ukraine's military had undergone major reforms. Soldiers received training from Western allies, modernized equipment, and adopted flexible battlefield strategies. Ukrainian forces used smaller, mobile units that could respond quickly to Russian advances. Civilian participation also played a crucial role. Thousands of citizens joined territorial defense units, volunteered for humanitarian missions, and supported logistics operations. Technology professionals helped strengthen cyber defenses and counter Russian misinformation campaigns. This collective effort transformed Ukraine's defense into a national movement, winning the information. Modern warfare is fought not only on battlefields, but also in media and information spaces. Russia launched extensive propaganda campaigns designed to weaken Ukrainian morale and influence international opinion. Ukraine responded with strategic media communication. Government officials shared real-time updates, documented civilian suffering, and exposed alleged war crimes. Zelensky's personal authenticity became a powerful tool in shaping global perception. Images of destroyed cities and stories of civilian resilience created strong emotional responses worldwide. This media strategy helped Ukraine maintain global attention and secure continued support from international allies. Global diplomacy and international support. Ukraine's wartime leadership successfully turned the conflict into a global issue. Zelensky framed the war as a defense of democratic values, human rights, and national sovereignty. As a result, many countries provided military aid, financial assistance, and humanitarian support. Western nations imposed economic sanctions on Russia, which affected global politics and economic relations. Ukraine strengthened partnerships with European and international organizations. The war accelerated Ukraine's ambition to integrate into European political and security structures. Although full membership remained complex, diplomatic relationships grew stronger than ever before. Humanitarian crisis and national resilience. The invasion created one of the largest humanitarian crises in Europe. Since World War II, millions of Ukrainians were forced to flee their homes. Entire cities faced destruction, and critical infrastructure such as hospitals, schools, and power systems suffered severe damage. Ukraine's leadership faced the enormous challenge of maintaining public morale while managing humanitarian relief efforts. The government coordinated evacuation routes, refugee assistance programs, and international aid distribution. Zelensky frequently highlighted civilian suffering in his speeches, appealing to global humanitarian organizations. His leadership emphasized compassion alongside military resistance, strengthening Ukraine's moral position worldwide. Economic survival during war severely damaged Ukraine's economy. Trade routes were disrupted, industries were destroyed, and government resources were stretched. Despite these challenges, Ukraine implemented emergency economic reforms and sought international financial support. Global partnerships helped stabilize Ukraine's economy. Domestic industries adapted to wartime conditions, and reconstruction planning began even while fighting continued. Ukraine's economic resilience became another symbol of national determination. Preserving democracy during conflicted like many countries during wartime, Ukraine attempted to maintain democratic governance. Parliament continued functioning, media outlets remained active, and public communication remained transparent. Zelensky's administration regularly provided updates about battlefield developments and national challenges. This transparency strengthened public trust and reinforced Ukraine's democratic identity. The leadership emphasized that the war was not only about territory, but also about protecting democratic values. The transformation of national identity. The invasion reshaped Ukraine's national identity. For decades, linguistic and regional divisions influenced Ukrainian politics. However, the war created a strong sense of unity. Citizens across different regions and cultural backgrounds united in defending their country. Ukrainian language, cultural traditions, and national symbols gained renewed importance. Wartime leadership promoted unity by emphasizing shared values and collective resilience. Global impact of Ukraine's leadership. Ukraine's resistance influenced global discussions about sovereignty, security, and international cooperation. Many countries reassessed their defense strategies and diplomatic alliances. Ukraine became a symbol of smaller nations resisting powerful military forces. Zelensky's leadership challenged traditional ideas about political authority. His journey from entertainer to wartime president demonstrated the importance of communication, adaptability, and emotional intelligence in modern leadership. The uncertain future, despite Ukraine's remarkable resistance. The future remains uncertain. Prolonged warfare continues to challenge the country's resources, political stability, and social unity. Wartime leadership requires constant adaptation.